Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be giving my spoiler review of Black Panther, so stick around if you would like to see that. But be warned, there are spoilers ahead. Okay, it has been 5 days since I have seen Black Panther. I've officially let it sit in. Before I start my review though, I would first like to say that I am working very hard on this channel right now to update the look of my channel and hopefully to be able to afford an actual camera. And also, I've also developed a Twitter account for this channel, so just check right along here. It's at Emily Grace Carm on Twitter, and you can get some quicker updates as to what is happening with my YouTube channel, when I'm going to be posting videos and opinions I have on Hollywood that I'm not going to make a video about, but I just thought I'd share a quick 280 characters about. So if you want to follow that, feel free. And also I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed in the past few days, and thank you to everyone who has watched my Black Panther movie review, and everyone who subscribed, because I'm almost at 650 subscribers, and that's so exciting, and I care a lot about this channel, and I feel like I'm getting better as I go along. So thank you to everyone sticking with me, and thank you to everyone who shows faith in me by subscribing. So thank you. But enough of that, let's get down to this review. Okay, so after a little less than a week, my thoughts are pretty much the same, except the big thing is I actually find myself wanting to see it again as time goes on. Right after I watched it, I was like, wow, that was such a good movie, but I didn't have the urge to watch it again. There wasn't anything that I felt like I missed or that I felt like I needed to refresh my mind on, because it all kind of stuck clearly in my head, and maybe that's just because I didn't go into the movie with the same long-awaited anticipation that I do with other films. I definitely want to see the movie again, and I think that that's very good for the franchise. I mean, it's very important. This, obviously we all know that Black Panther has eaten the box office for dinner. It left less than $10 million for the other opening movies. That's insane. And going forward, it's very important that it has strong second weekend, third weekend, because those holds going forward are very important. Jumanji and The Greatest Showman are proving to have insane holds from good word of mouth. I don't think Black Panther will drop too much. Really, it's become a movement, and I think anyone who didn't get the chance to go see it in the first weekend is going to try and go in the second weekend. And then there are people who I know, some of you have commented you've already seen it a couple of times, and that's really exciting. But keep going to watch these movies that you love, and I know it's expensive. Trust me, I know. But if the more you support it and go see these movies, and the better it looks on paper for the film, and also the more money that people get that worked on it. And I'm not talking about the big stars, but I'm talking about people who hold the boom and stuff like that. It's when you don't go support a movie, those are the people who suffer. So I think it's really exciting when a movie that's also this important, that means it's so important on so many levels, but when it makes this much money, it helps everyone, literally everyone. So it's so exciting when movies succeed in Hollywood. But yeah, I want to see it again, and I really want to revisit Wakanda, and I can't wait for the rest of the Black Panther movies, or just for Infinity War when we're back in Wakanda, because what an amazing world they've created, and the fact that they kept it secret meant that you couldn't ask questions about, oh, why wasn't this in the MCU before if it was so technologically advanced? It makes Tony Stark stuff look like baby toys. But because they made it a secret, which I thought was really neat. I mean, I loved how they flew right into the thing in the beginning. So into the mountain, they flew right into the side of a mountain, and I was like, what? and T'Challa was like, I'll never get tired of this. I'm like, T'Challa, neither will I. So I hope they show that in every movie. But yeah, and so also as time has gone on, I've found out things that I have grown to like and things that I've grown to there's nothing I really disliked, but things that I've been kind of confused about. The first being the soundtrack in terms of what I like. Wow. Okay, so after I've seen the movie, I've grown to very much appreciate both of the soundtracks. And so there's a score by Ludwig Göransson, I think you pronounce it. That's incredible. It mixes like dubsteppy beats with like African music, and it's beautiful. And there's one I forget what it's called, but it's from the part where T'Challa and his father are talking in like the world of the Panther gods, and wow, it's very beautiful, and it's very brilliant because it's a perfect representation of the film artistically, and the fact that they mix together the African culture with like this modern, insane technology. It's not even modern, it's like beyond modern, it's futuristic. But it's insane. Contrasting that with things I dislike, and when I say dislike, I mean I really did not dislike anything in this movie, but there's more of an inconsistency, and I don't know if I'm just confused. Feel free to comment down below and explain this. But in Captain America Civil War, it seemed like vibranium could easily harm vibranium, and because it's the strongest metal in the world, like it can only really hurt itself, which is a very interesting concept. But we saw like T'Challa's claws in the Black Panther suit scrape Captain America's shield when like nothing else can hurt it, and that was a very interesting thing to do. But because it was vibranium suit against vibranium suit in this movie with Killmonger and T'Challa, I was confused if there was like why there wasn't more ripping and more pain felt, I guess. I don't know. I was a little bit confused on that. But I know with the ring, it like almost looked like it was like magnetism, like the vibranium ring was like they couldn't, and I know it happened with T'Challa and Bucky's arm. They like couldn't go. I don't know. I think I just need to see the movie again, but I'm a little confused on that. Okay, so sorry. Thank you for letting me work that out a little. Moving on to my favorite part. Oh yes. Still can't really decide on a downright favorite part because just the whole movie in general was very enjoyable to me. But the casino fight I think might be on top. Mainly because I watched recently Ryan Coogler's Break Down the Fight thing, where he talks about how they made it and how they designed it and choreographed it and all of that, and I just think it was so interesting with the colors. They used the colors of I think it was called a Pan-African flag. T'Challa, Nakia, and Okoye were dressed in the green, the red, and the black. That was fascinating. I love the behind-the-scenes stuff of things. It's why I decided to just like go into the movie industry, what I'm studying in college, because it's so fascinating to me. But man, and the music in that fight too, it's just, and the girl power, it's so good. And I love how none of them need each other's help fighting. They all can do it on their own, but when there's points when they work together, it's even better, and they're even stronger, and it's amazing. Okay. And speaking of the casino fight, I guess I'll just start with there's no way to connect these. Chadwick Boseman, we're going to go into characters. Well, I've talked about the characters in my non-spoiler review, but I would like to say, again, that there was a very regal, moral, and just composed vibe about him. There's this aura of just kindness and purity, and the fact that he has to deal with his father's mistakes in this movie. I mean, I think it's kind of a reflection of what's happening in the country today. Not that sounds bad, but like the debate that's going on right now about gun control, which I won't go into because I'm not going to make this YouTube channel political, but like the idea of a younger generation stepping in to do something that they feel an older generation has not done the way that they want it to be done. Something like that, like the shifting of power throughout generations, I think is just, it's a beautiful storyline, and I wish that it was delved into more in film, because I will never get sick of it, because it's so fascinating, and I want to know, like, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about that storyline, because I think there's validity to what T'Chaka felt about how to protect your own country, and pacifism. You can see kind of both sides of it, but you can understand why characters are making the choices that they are, and it's interesting to see their own takes on history and where they want it to go. So I just thought that was very interesting. Again, Chadwick Boseman, he just handled that storyline so well, and I love Chadwick Boseman. Ever since 42 came out, I've just loved him. He's amazing. And I'm so happy for him. It's so good. I'm just so happy for everyone that was a part of this movie, because it's become so much. Okay. Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger. Wow. Okay. I know that some people are getting tired of the Marvel thing where they have the villain be kind of the same thing as what the hero is, like in the first Iron Man movie. One of you commented on one of my videos too. It's not something that I get sick of, and in this one it's the two Black Panthers. I personally think it's a very interesting storyline, and for some reason I'm not getting tired of it. I do understand that it's probably getting annoying, but it's not annoying me. I just think, because I think it's an interesting route to take, like the two perspectives you can have on life, and the conflict that brings. I personally like it, but regardless, I think Killmonger, we can all agree that Killmonger had a very deep backstory with the fact that, and I knew that that kid in the blue sweatshirt was significant for some reason, and because they just held the shot on him for so long, and it was heartbreaking, and the fact that they left the kid there is so immoral and just wrong. There had to be a better way, you know, like there had to be a better way to deal with that, and it's not the kid's fault. Maybe take the kid, but like, it just, that hurt. And so I understood where Michael B. Jordan was coming from, and he actually had my favorite line in the entire movie, and I wrote this down so I wouldn't mess it up. Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors who jumped from the ships because they knew death was better than bondage. Those were his final words. Hopefully he's not dead, but I mean, those were epic final words. That hit me very hard, and I am not a member of the Black community, so I cannot speak on the feeling of carrying that ancestry with you, but just the idea of slavery is something that has always disgusted me, and I've read about it in the history books, and I've tried to be as informed as possible, and hearing someone say something like that in a film, it just, in a Marvel film no less, I mean, it just hit me. Like, I think my whole theater gasped. I mean, it was, the person next to me just said, wow. It's such a powerful statement, and it embodied a lot of what Killmonger was feeling in terms of it's time for people to stop being put down in the sense that they're always on the bottom. And that's not fair. Obviously, giving them weapons and having them revolt and kill everyone is not the best strategy. It's throughout history has not really worked, with the exception of America, I guess. But it was just, I think he delivered that spectacularly, and I'm happy for Michael B. Jordan. He did a very good job. I need to talk quickly because we're at 17 minutes. Jesus. Okay. Denai Guerrera as Okoye. Wow. Okay. Another thing that I've heard people saying, and this is another perk of me doing my spoiler review a little bit later, is because I can hear what other people are thinking about the movie. Some people were thinking that the girl power was not as great as I thought it was because they weren't in leading roles, but I don't think that matters in this movie at all, because that's not the point of this movie. You don't always have to be in a leading role to be a strong female character, and they're not all the same person either, which is amazing. And it's so good. And Denai Guerrera was just, I'm so happy she's going to be in Infinity War because she's amazing. She is amazing. Watching her fight makes me feel empowered. It's amazing. Okay, I've said amazing so many times. Shuri, I said Letitia Wright in my other review. Letitia Wright. Okay, love her. Favorite character. Can't wait to see more from her. She's a genius. Moving on. Okay. Lupita Nyong'o as Nakia. Loved what they gave her for a storyline in terms of she goes on missions. She can totally fight for herself. I was really scared at the beginning there that they were going to go the princess or damsel in distress route, but luckily they didn't. I really connected with her worldviews. And I wish Lupita Nyong'o would be hired more, because genuinely she's amazing. And she didn't have the biggest part in this movie, but she had a big part. A big part isn't an important part. And I can't wait to see more from her. And I know people want Ghost, but man, I ship her and T'Challa so hard. Okay. Daniel Kaluuya as W'Kabi. Okay. He's becoming an actor that I really like. I mean, I'm getting into this mode where I'm like, I'm gonna go see Daniel Kaluuya movies because, first of all, his side eye, mastered, amazing. But he plays such interesting characters, and I think I would not have put him back into a leadership role after betraying the T'Challa like that, but at the same time, he was really loyal before. I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted on his character, but I think Daniel Kaluuya did a very good job. Moving on to Angela Bassett. Beautiful. Amazing. I want to see more of her movies too, because I just love, and you could just tell how warm, like she just protrudes warmth, like Oprah. It's amazing. Okay. Andy Serkis. It's Claw. I was very, very, very sad that they killed him. I hope I didn't say that in my non-spoiler review. I'm afraid that I did. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm just got really scared. Okay. Well, okay. I'm not the happiest that they killed story-wise. It made sense that they killed Andy Serkis, but I love Andy Serkis, and I was happy that he was in the MCU, and I'm kind of sad that he's not anymore. But he's such a good actor. And he's so lovable. I just want him to get more work. Martin Freeman. Just watched the first episode of Sherlock. Wow. What a show. The screenplay in that is just insane. Okay, but now I really, really, really love Martin Freeman. I already did because of him as Bilbo Baggins and everything. But I'm so happy for him. And he did have a backseat role in this movie, and yeah, I love Martin Freeman very much. Okay. One of the last things I'm going to talk about with you is the jokes. Now I do not get annoyed by jokes the same way that everyone else does. What it is about the MCU humor, because sometimes it really annoys people, like in Doctor Strange. That didn't annoy me at all. I loved the humor in Doctor Strange, except maybe, no, I actually loved all of it. Okay. And all the humor in this movie was perfect. Just like it is in every other MCU movie, and I don't understand what everyone sees in all the other MCU movies that they don't like about the humor, but I love it. So, if you want to hear someone compliment the humor, come here, because I always think they have the perfect amount, and this was I'm just gonna list off some of my favorites, and one of you commented on this particular joke, and the real question is, what are those? When she's pointing at his feet, the sandals. Oh my gosh, T'Challa, what are you wearing? Oh, that was so funny. That Shuri joke, and then the vegetarian joke with Winston Duke, who I didn't talk about. Loved Winston Duke's character. He was amazing as M'Baku, and can't wait to see more of him. I think he was in Infinity War, so that's great. Okay. I loved his vegetarian joke, though. Okay. I loved the did he freeze like an antelope in headlights joke. That was really funny. And I love the mixtape joke with Claw as well. That was hilarious. Again, I love all the balance of the humor. I think it's fine. I don't know. Okay, so there are 2 end credit scenes, as I said in my non-spoiler review. First one is when T'Challa makes a very wise decision, kind of outed Wakanda as this insanely wealthy and developed nation that nobody knew. And that was a great first end credit sequence. It was very exciting. And especially after that amazing ending with the outreach centers that he said he was going to do and put Shuri in charge of. And it was amazing. Okay. Yeah, so Bucky Barnes is in the second end credit scene. And they referred to him as White Wolf. So that's another kind of name that Bucky Barnes or Winter Soldier takes up in the comics. I think it's him. Or I know that White Wolf is a character in the comics. And I think that's a very interesting route, possibly hinting at a future. I don't know. Maybe it was just a nice little Easter egg. But I liked that. And I like how now we understand what Bucky's doing in Wakanda for all this time. And he got out of the ice like really quickly, because this, I don't know when that end credit scene takes place, but Black Panther takes place like within the week after Civil War. So that's interesting. But now we know, now we don't have to explain that in Infinity War, so that's great. So yeah. And then overall, the movie in general, as I've said 1,000 times, I really liked it. I thought the plot was amazing. Favorite battle, probably the casino fight, but I loved the end battle too. And I know it was like 2 hours and 20 minutes long, but it felt like it could have been longer. I mean, I was really enjoying myself. I would have liked more action, but I don't have any complaints about the amount of action there was. It was just like, if you could add more stuff, what would you add? And I was like, more action, because I loved seeing everyone fight, and I just the Wakanda forever. It's just I'm so happy for this movie. I'm so happy for it, and I'm happy for everyone that worked on it, because not only do I like seeing movies in Hollywood succeed, because that's good for all of us, but I love seeing people get represented. Because as I said, with Wonder Woman, I finally got that. So I know the feeling, and I just want everyone to have it. Oh, it's just so beautiful. So let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of Black Panther. Thank you for watching my spoiler review, or listening to it, or reading it. And yeah, and subscribe. Give me a big thumbs up if you liked this video or the movie. And again, don't forget to check out my Twitter account. And yes, so have a good day, everyone. Thank you for watching. Stick around for more Black Panther and Marvel coverage, and I'll see you soon. Bye.